Yo, what up, man? It's your Council Poly Rob. Welcome to another episode of the Poly Rob Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and become a member on my channel, man. I appreciate everybody always showing love. Let's get right into it. Now, let me say this really quick. Being in the music industry is a very, very unique type of situation. When I say unique, I mean it's an acquired taste, man. It's an acquired taste. The things that you succumb to or not, the hard work you put in, the long hours, the years of no results, waiting for the perfect moment. It's a lot that goes into it. But we do it because we love it. We do it because it's a part of our creative process. We do it because we just wake up in the morning and this is what we live. You know what I mean? But by me saying that, there's also another side to it. And let's just call it the dark side. You know what I mean? Let's call it the dark side. There's a dark side to the music industry. No one wants to go there. No one wants to experience this side, but it's connected to certain levels of problems or opportunities or obstacles that you go through. It's just what it is. I think every profession has it, but because the music industry is so up and down, when it hits us for real. And I just want to pray for everybody that's in the music industry that's trying to find some type of success, some type of peace, some type of understanding. I want to pray for all y'all. I want to pray for myself as well, because the story that I'm about to talk about that, has come across my timeline is just something that we never want to come across. You know what I mean? Especially as a celebrity. I mean, just as a human being, we never want to come across this. Ray J. Ray J has been arrested for allegedly, and I'm going to say allegedly, even though that there's video, but I'm going to say allegedly because we don't know the whole story. But Ray J has been arrested for allegedly waving a gun or pointing a gun at his daughter's mother, which used to be, I believe, his wife or his girlfriend of many years. You know what I mean? I got to be honest. I don't know too much about Ray J's story in the reality TV world or, anything that he's been doing in the past couple of years. I don't follow Ray J. But when I seen this news, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart because number one, I'm not gonna say that I've been through that type of situation because I don't do guns. It's not my thing. But I've been in a situation where you either want to get your point across or you get into a serious argument with someone, preferably the mother of your kids, and it just doesn't go right. It just doesn't go right for either party. But before I get to that part, I want to finish the alleged allegations. So there was a live stream that Ray J was on. He was on his phone on a live stream, and one thing that you can see that is a fact is that he did have his gun in the live stream. You can see the butt of the gun, and you can see that he held up the actual clip. You can see half of the clip, and it had a bullet in at the top of the clip. Now, I'm not no gun expert at all, but when you have, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please do, but when you have a bullet at the top of the clip, usually means that the clip is full. Does that mean the clip is full, or does that mean that it could be like one bullet? I don't know, but it looked like to me that maybe the clip had a couple bullets in it. But anyway, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert, but I did see the top of the clip with the bullet in it, and then he actually says, "I'm gonna shoot you," and some couple of other vulgar terms. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Being a creator, being a dad, being someone who cares about his family, being someone who, I'm not a star, but I am known. Very heartbreaking, man, because you never want any public figure that has any type of validity to their career, or just any human being that you may deem as someone who's done some good in the world. You never want to see that. You never want to see a video of somebody holding a clip or a gun or a knife or anything of that sort and literally saying out of their own mouth that I'm going to shoot you. It doesn't matter who it's to. Allegedly, he said that to his kid's mother, but it don't matter who you say it to. On live stream, on camera, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Devastated. So then it continues on. Now, and this video is surfacing on social media right now, so you can probably find it. I'm not playing the video because it's very disturbing. You could also see the kid's mother come in, pick up the baby. They arguing. She got the baby in hand, which is never safe for the child. And she's arguing with him. You can see the back and forth that they've been doing for the past couple of, I guess, hours or so that we don't see on live stream, but you can see by the intensity of both of their voice that they've been arguing for a while. Then it gets to a point where I guess the kid's mother, her friend, which is a guy, comes in to try to help or try to de-escalate the situation. And then once again we hear Ray J stating that he will shoot the guy, and you can hear the guy say, I know you will, like in a sense of like he's saying it in a calm voice, like he's trying to de-escalate the situation. And it looks like the camera's moving all crazy, so we get a point where we can hear what's going on, but we can't actually see. Because the camera, I guess the phone is flipped down somewhere on a table or something like that. I don't know. But we can hear the guy say, hey, man, like, stop doing this. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you wilding out. You know what I mean? And he's trying to de-escalate the situation from what I hear. I don't know if they got into a little scuffle or whatever, but it's just not a good video. It's not a good video. I'm not going to say I have mixed feelings about it, because what's wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just, couple of things. You should never pull out your weapon on your significant other, your ex, with kids around, even though like it's in your house. Yes, this is Ray J's house, but threatening anyone with a gun is not okay nowhere. Having a gun in your house legally, if that's legally your gun, then that's one thing. But you threatening people with your gun is not good in the house. It's not good on the street. It's not good in the car. It's not good nowhere. You can go to jail for that, which Ray J did. Also, arguing with the mother of your kids, women arguing with the father of your kids. Let's be real about one thing. Let's be real. If there's anybody that can push your real red button, that big red button that you got in your soul, in your heart, no matter how calm you are, no matter how much of a good person you are, no matter how many situations you've been through, real people know there's probably 2 or 3 people in your life that can push that red button on command. They know what to do to piss you off. 9 times out of 10, the mother or the father of your kids is one of those people who can push your red button, for sure. A lot of times it's your parents or your wife or husband, but number 1 on my list is the mother or father of your kids. I'm telling you, that's a real thing. They're going to say something like somebody else can say, you know, you ain't ish, or you get on my nerves, or whatever the case may be. I don't love you, whatever it is. They can say anything, and it probably might just roll off your sleeve with no problem. Let the father or the mother of your kids say the same exact thing. It's going to hit different. It's going to hit different. It's going to sting. It's going to pierce. You're going to remember it. You're going to get angry. You're going to start speaking loud. For some men and women, unfortunately, they get violent when they hear certain things. And we never want that. Luckily, by the grace of God, I've never gotten to the point where I wanted to get violent. But yeah, those things hurt. And yeah, you yell and scream back. And yes, the kids are close by. Yeah, it's a real thing. But you should never resort to having weapons around while you're in an argument. That should be the last thing you grab. Under no circumstances do you even think or attempt to get by a weapon, whether it's yours or not, when you're in that situation. Walk away. Walk away. Now, there was a scenario. I'll say this. There's Ray J's side, and then there's, you know, the kid's mother's side. The kid's mother was stating that, you know, he was getting loud, and she wanted to leave the household because, you know, it's Thanksgiving, and she knows he has a gun in the house. And he mentioned the gun, so she like, let me take my baby, let me get out of here. And then she proceeds to go in the kid's room. The kid is asleep. So the argument is happening on the other side of the house. They got a big house. Ray J's rich. They know what it is. The argument is going on the other side of the house. She says that he mentions the gun. She said, I'm going to get my kids. Her friend goes with her into the bedroom, into Ray J's bedroom, to grab the child. That's when Ray J gets furious, and, you know, I guess from what's being alleged, this is when he, you know, goes to get the gun or has the gun on him or whatever, and is saying, leave my baby right there because y'all drunk, leave my baby right there. One thing I will say is driving drunk is never good as well. So just as much as Ray J is at fault of grabbing a gun and trying to persuade or get somebody to do something or not do something, if the kid's mother and the friend were truly drunk and have been drinking, they wrong. They wrong for that too. Just as much as Ray J created a terrible environment for the child, them two created just as much of a terrible environment by deciding to drive drunk anywhere on Thanksgiving or any day. because God forbid anything could have happened. She's mad. She's yelling. They both drunk. She grabbed the baby, put the baby in the car. Are they strapping the baby in the car seat the right way? Are you driving too fast? Are you driving too slow? What's the weather like? I mean, anything can happen. You never drive drunk. Ray J, he's at fault. Going on live, doing a whole live stream while you having an argument. On top of that, putting a gun in the live stream. On top of that, having a gun. This is bad on all angles. This is bad across the board. As bad as it is, remember, we've seen situations like this. We've probably been in situations like this. I've been in arguments with my son's mother. Never that bad, never to where we had to grab weapons or anything, but I knew what it felt like when she was telling me about myself, when she was cussing me out, when she was asking me questions that I couldn't answer, when, you know, she was intoxicated, when I was intoxicated. Real thing. And I've made my mistakes. I've definitely made my mistakes. So, you know, I heard the worst of it. I heard the worst of it. But it's never good to get violent, or it's never good to have a weapon around your kids. That's one thing I'm not doing. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to yell. I'm going to scream. That's the old me. I'm a lot calmer now. I just walk away now. I just walk away. I do things differently now. But one thing I'm not doing is I'm not getting the attitude and having a whole ass argument around my kids where my kids can hear. I'm not doing none of that. Because the last thing I want my kids to hear is me being drunk, belligerent, angry, screaming at their mama. That's not happening. I try my best. And maybe it's a gift and a curse, but when people start getting loud, I walk away. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear this. Let's talk when we got some sense. Or let's talk where I got some sense. Whatever. But I'm not yelling and screaming because I know what that leads to. And I know me. I have to be honest. I am a Central American. My family's from Belize. I lived in Brooklyn. Lived in Inglewood, California. My anger is nothing to be played with. People that know me know I rarely get angry. But when I get angry, I get angry. So we not even going there. We not even going there. I know myself, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. Fellas, you got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. You got to know that when you get into that argument, she's going to say something to piss you off, and vice versa. Ladies, you got to know yourself. You got to know how to try to de-escalate before it gets to a point where it's unbearable. Women, you have to understand that, first off, you are precious to us. No matter how many times we argue, you are precious to us. At the same time, sometimes when men are mad, they take the kindness and the preciousness for weakness. They think you weak because you're kind and precious and you're soft and you're delicate. They take it for weakness when you get angry. But it's a way to deal with that, ladies. It's a way to deal with that. It's a way to still get your point across, but not get to a point where y'all going to be throwing blows or pulling out weapons. I heard this one quote. I want to say it was my auntie that told me this, but I don't know for sure, but it's something that I never forget. She said, like, if a woman really understands her true power, she wouldn't have to yell. She wouldn't have to scream. She wouldn't have to say things that put down men. If women know their true power, and men, if men knew their true power, because it's a two-way street. If men knew their true power, they wouldn't have to get violent. They wouldn't have to try to overpower somebody. They wouldn't have to try to control somebody if they knew their true power. Because the true power is in different levels of how we deal with circumstances. Sometimes for a man, really sitting down and expressing their true feelings sometimes is the way. Sometimes it's just taking time to calm down and coming back and saying things that you don't like, but saying it in a tone where they can understand that you want this to change. Or let's take it in Ray J's case. Ray J should have said, hey, listen, I know you mad at me. I know I'm mad at you. Look, this is Thanksgiving. Can y'all do me a favor? You can go into whatever room in the house you want with my baby. Please get some sleep. If you want to take the baby in the morning when you're sober, please do so. That's fine. Or I could order car service for you in the morning. But what I don't want y'all to do, yes, the kid's mother and the friend. And really, you should be talking to the friend because y'all already arguing. So talk to the friend and say, hey, listen, she drunk. I know you intoxicated, bro. Can you just do me a favor and just go in any part of the house? I'll be away from y'all. Y'all be away from me. I'm not coming on the part of the side of the house that y'all on. Y'all don't come on the side of the house that I'm on. I don't want to hear nothing. Just get some sleep. And then in the morning, if y'all want to go ahead. We'll figure it out in the morning. But what I don't want is for y'all to drive drunk with my baby in the car. That's it. Just like that. And let's figure it out the next day. But what we not going to do is mess up this whole Thanksgiving. Y'all ain't even got to talk to me. Y'all ain't got to say nothing to me. The refrigerator's right in there. The bathroom is over there. Go ahead and play some music and chill. Let's just not be rambunctious and we'll figure it out later. Kid's mom. If you knew your true power, you should have said, hey, this is Thanksgiving. I know you mad or whatever, but listen, if we want to leave the baby sleep, leave the baby sleep. I'm going to go in the room with the baby. Do me a favor because you do have a firearm on you. Can you do me a favor? Can you lock that up or can you go somewhere or whatever the case may be? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But what I'm saying is there needs to be some type of understanding that somebody got to walk away for the sake of the kids. Everybody keep talking about they're about the kids. They're about their family. But you got to do certain things to make sure that you can live to approach the situation another way. One of my craziest and I would say dumbest choices, but it was a choice that I felt like was right at the time. And through fruition, long story short, it worked out the way it was supposed to work out. Look at me being personal with y'all. But I'm going to say this. At one point in time, and not to put my business on the street, but I'll just kind of just overview this. You know what I mean? One point in time, I made some terrible mistakes, right? And within those mistakes, it was always the arguing and bickering and things like that. It was a lot. And at a point in time, it didn't matter about who was right and who was wrong because we both had our points, some stronger than others. But what I decided to do was I decided to leave the household and go sleep and live in the studio. This is a place that me and my son's mother both lived with our kids. And I decided to go live in the studio. Still going to do my fatherly duties to the best of my ability. What I had, I gave. What I didn't have, I had to try to go make it. But long story short, I had to step away from the environment because I knew that if we were going to keep arguing every day, it's to a point where it's like we not cool. And when you're in an environment with somebody you're not cool with at the time, you got a gripe with, it's just going to get worse. So I did what someone would call, I left the family. And I'll probably talk about this more in depth on my membership, you know what I'm saying, on my YouTube membership. So y'all make sure y'all become a member. But some people will call, a lot of my family called me, they called it leaving the family. But what I did was, sometimes you got to get yourself sane first. What I mean by that is, sometimes you have to get away to be able to approach it and fix it later. Sometimes you can't fix it in a moment. You can't fix it during an argument. You can't fix it while you're yelling and screaming. You can't fix it when you quote unquote hate that person. You can't fix it in that moment. So you got to step away and then come back and figure out how to fix it. Did we fix it? That was years ago. That was probably when my kids was like 4 and 6 or something like that. I don't know. It was early on. Did we fix it? My kids are 14 and 16, and they are thriving the best way possible. They got a smile on their face every day. So did we fix it? Yes, because we had to learn how to coexist, and we had to learn how to work together. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. Now, that's not saying without problems, because we still be having problems. She still be mad as hell at me when I do certain things. I might have to go on a movie set for 2-3 months, and I can't take the kids to school. Or, my car might break down and I can't do certain things, but I got to figure out another way to compensate for that. Who knows? But what I'm saying is, we can wake up another day and figure it out. The love is still there. We love our kids, so we can figure it out. I'm not going to put both of us in a position to where we can't come back from. And I feel like Ray J did something that it's hard to come back from. It's difficult to come back from this. Not saying he can't, because I believe he will, but it's going to be a lot of work. He got to work on himself, yo. He got to work on himself, and kid's mother got to do the same thing for the sake of the kids. We're all not perfect, but we got to continue to wake up in the morning and try to be better. Every day we got to try to be better. Every single day. And I want to talk about this because as a creator, as someone who's a producer, engineer, songwriter, sound designer, these problems can arise when you least expect it. When you least expect it. Sometimes it's like, this is my last thing I'll say and I'll get out of here. Sometimes it's like when your creative career goes up, your personal life goes down, and vice versa. That's just how it is. When your creative part of your life goes up, your personal life goes down. And we have to find a way to balance that whole thing out. We got to figure out a way. I pray for Ray J. I pray for the kid's mother, and I pray for the kids first and foremost. I pray for the kids, man. I hope he comes out of that, because we never want this situation for anybody, not even our worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know if y'all think they could approach this situation a little bit differently. And let me know what y'all feel, man. Have y'all ever been in a situation where things got a little bit too hectic? Or have you ever been in a situation that's hard to come back from? You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things, man. We just don't want to go off the deep end. We don't want to go off the deep end, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Make sure y'all hit that like button. You know what I mean? If you're not a subscriber already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? We finna go up. We got a lot of things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Work low.